Hey guys, it's Brandon again. Hope you're all doing good. In today's video, I kind of wanted to look at all the different iPads that are out there and kind of maybe help you think about which one you might want to get if you're thinking about getting one of these. I usually don't shill Apple stuff on this channel. I really dislike a lot of their stuff. But and when it comes to tablets, they do have the best tablet out there, I will say. The iPad is better than pretty much any Android tablet you're going to find. That's my opinion. Better than any Chrome tablet. If you disagree, please let me know in the comments. But I don't care. It's my opinion. You have four different models here of iPad. You got the Pro, the Air, the regular, and the Mini. And if you look at the pricing, the Pro starts at 1,000, Air at 600, the regular at 350, and the Mini at 500. You see the chips that they have. Your Pro's got the M4, Air's got the M2, the regular has the A14, and the Mini has the A15. They all have 12 megapixel cameras, and you can all use different variations of pencils and keyboards. So I want to start with the base one because I actually own this iPad. And when I bought it about a year ago, it cost, I think, maybe $100 more than this. Maybe not. I got it on Amazon, and it might have been on sale a little bit. But this one has different colors you can get. And for $350, it starts at 64 gigs. They don't have a 128 option. If you want to go to 256, it goes all the way up to 500. So Apple's really good at making you pay way more for storage with the way that they give you storage and whatnot. You can get a Wi-Fi version or a cellular version. If you're getting this iPad, I would recommend getting the 64 gig, the base cheap one, and just getting Wi-Fi. I think that's a pretty good deal for tablet stuff. Now, let's go back and look at their Mini. For $500 on this thing, it starts at 64 gigs, or to get the 256, you have to go all the way up to $650. To me, this thing's a ripoff, the iPad Mini. A lot of people like the size of it. Man, I don't know. To pay $500 to get 64 gigs of storage, that's kind of a joke. And I don't know. I wouldn't pay $650 for this little thing either. But the only positive about it's the form factor. We're going to talk about some other differentiating things with these later, but let's look at the iPad Air now. This thing starts at $600 for an 11-inch one, and there they give you, I think, 128 gigs of storage. Or to get the same 256 as the others, you have to go all the way up to 700. You can pay $900 for 512, or a terabyte you can get for $1,100. We're getting pretty expensive for a tablet. But if you think that's expensive, let's take a look at their Pro model. You can get an 11-inch for $1,000 or go to 13-inch for $1,300. Let's just see what you can spec one of these things out at. You can get $1,300. They're only giving 256 gigs of storage. That's a joke. 512 you can get for $1,500, a terabyte for $1,900, or 2 terabytes for $2,300. Let's be real. Don't spend $2,300 on a tablet of any kind. That makes no sense. I would not do that at all. So it's worth noting that the let me go back here. I think all the models now, except the regular iPad, have a better screen. They might have OLED displays. I don't know technically what they all have. Like I said, I have this base iPad, the cheap one. Looks like this. And no matter how much worse the screen is compared to the other ones, it has a pretty good screen on it. I haven't had any problems with it whatsoever. It has a nice, good resolution. It's nice and bright. The other ones are technically better, but to me, that's not a big deal. Now, let's think about what you're actually going to use an iPad for. If you watch a lot of the other YouTube channels talking about iPads, they're going to be talking about the pencil you need to get and the keyboard you need to get. And you can very quickly start jacking the price up on these things a lot more than what they typically are. Like, a lot of channels recommend the iPad Air. And if we go to that thing, let's say we get an 11-inch We'll just get the base storage, and let's add a keyboard and a pencil to that thing. It's $130 for a pencil, and let's see, $300 for a keyboard. So by the time you get all that in there, you're looking at a almost $1,000 device. Now I'll tell you what I did. I got a $14 pencil on Amazon. Maybe not as fancy, but it still works pretty good. And I have no keyboard on this thing, and it's still extremely cheap. I would not recommend getting an Apple Pencil at all, or one of these Apple keyboards, and I'll tell you why. Oops, I clicked on Mac. When you're first thinking about getting an iPad, you have all these visions in your head of how it's going to replace your computer, it's going to replace your laptop, it's going to be awesome, you're going to be typing all this stuff on your keyboard. I think once you get it, you find out no matter what hardware you get, no matter which version of the iPad you get, it still comes with tablet apps. And they're all made for touch, and they're all not that good compared to what you're going to have on a computer. And so I think the idea that one of these iPads is ever going to replace your computer is kind of a fantasy. Now, you do see videos out there where people talk about how they switched to nothing but an iPad for 2 weeks or whatever, and I'm pretty sure after the video's done, they go straight back to their computer, which is what most people are going to do. So looking at all these, here's what I'd kind of recommend. I wouldn't get the iPad Pro at all. I think the thing's a ripoff. Do you really need a M4 chip in an iPad? Are you going to be using your iPad for professional tasks? Really, if you think about it, it's easy to tell yourself you're going to, but bro, you're not going to do it. There's like 3 guys who use their iPads for pro work, and they probably also have to have a laptop too. The thing's a ripoff. And I almost feel the same way about the iPad Air. It looks cooler than the regular one. But then again, let's be real. You're going to be using your iPad for watching videos, probably. Maybe playing some games. You don't need the iPad Air. Is the M2 chip in it so much faster than the A14 and the regular one? Not for tablet stuff. I don't think so. I've played games on this iPad occasionally. It doesn't have any frame rate problems or anything. I'd say the real choice is between the base iPad and the mini, if you really want that small one. But to me, again, $500 is a lot to pay for a tablet that probably you're not going to use a lot. So, what's my opinion? I think you know my opinion. Get the base iPad. $350. It's the best tablet on the market. In day-to-day use, you're not going to notice that it's any slower than an iPad Pro because everything on this thing's snappy. I've never had any loading time on this for any apps, any games, or anything like that. The screen's not ugly. You can get a cheap pencil for $14 if you want it. Even this $14 one, I hardly ever use it. I've never been at a point where I thought, gee, I need a keyboard on this thing. And so, yeah, I'd say save money. Even if you wanted more storage at $499 for 256 gigs, that's still a better deal than all the other iPads out there. So, yeah, my opinion is if you want a tablet, one of these base iPads, the 64 gig, even the 256 gig is fine. Don't kid yourself thinking that you're going to be using your iPad for all these other things. None of them are a laptop replacement. Even the highest $2,300 one, it doesn't replace a laptop. Yeah, that's my opinion. What do you guys think about iPads? Do you think they're junk? They're not productivity devices, even if they have Pro in the name. I just recommend getting one of the base iPads. But you guys let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Goodbye now.